came from the hood, I seen it all. Moves to the burbs, I got it all. Give me the ball, I get it all. Pass me the rock, I get it all. Yeah, I do it all. Yeah, I do it all. Yeah, I do it all. Yeah, yeah. I came from the hood, I seen it all. What's good, y'all? Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all checking in to the Do It All podcast. My beautiful co-host, DeAnna Richstar.
DeAnna checking in.
Hey, I got the goddamn Somewhere team with me today, man. The Somewhere team, Rex Wonders, Devin, Cubano. I got all the stars in the building.
It's giving Do It All.
Hey, the Do It All for real. Hey, look, I'm going to tell y'all right now, this team is so special because if you went somewhere and you went and tapped into a household, you can really get everything you needed out of one household right here. Every last thing you needed. If you needed a producer, if you needed a clothes designer, if you needed a goddamn NFT, crypto, advice, anything from business, this is the Somewhere house. You need to go somewhere, then you need to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
It's really up to you. It's really up to you where you trying to go.
It's giving a super creative genius. As a collective, you guys are going crazy, and you guys all have dope individual styles. What's to you?
What's to me?
What's to you?
What do you mean?
What do you do? What's to you?
What don't we do is a better question.
There we go.
Yeah, look.
We do it all, right?
In fact,
and that's why you're here.
That's why we're in this podcast.
And that's why you're here.
Exactly.
We do it all podcast, man.
Tell us about yourselves.
I guess we're a little sectioned out, but somehow there's like a cohesiveness that just like organically happened, you feel me? But yeah, I mean, from graphics, music videos type shit, working on some films, to the music side, that's pretty much what like holds the glue of everything is like the music stuff, you feel me? But yeah, I mean, we're super big on like financial literacy and like just like teaching the youth in our communities. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a better question to ask, like, what don't we do at this point, And once again, it organically happened. It wasn't like we tried to do it like that, you know what I'm saying? It just like we realized how much we needed in order to like have full, I guess, creative control is the best, like, best way to explain it. You know what
Creative control.
Yeah.
Now we talking about artistry to the most elite level, of things, and we're talking about individuals. When I first met y'all, I called it the mutant house. You know what I'm saying? The Professor X mutant house. You know what I'm saying? Teen Titans, yeah, whatever. Hey, look. But it's the truth, though, because really, when you look at every last individual in this group, you can see the different swag, you can see the different personalities, everything, but it works. Not only do it work, but, like, y'all got each other back, man. Like, how did y'all meet? Like, individually, like, how did, like, where you, Rex, where are you from?
I'm from Pasadena, California. I'm gonna rep that shit till the day I die, you feel me? Rose City,
big dog.
But yeah, I mean, the way that we met, I mean, I guess I kind of met everybody in different phases of like my career, you feel me? From going to Oregon, being in California, etc. For example, like Augie X and Cubano. I went to school with Augie, you feel me? Cubano was at my school for a little bit. Me and Augie played baseball when we was young. But yeah, I mean, Cubano's probably the one that's been, I guess, from this group here the longest, you feel me? It was just like, I was going to like some football game and I literally was just like going under the bridge to get to like this school called Muir High School. And then, he was walking back and we just talked. And then, I started showing him my music, started recording in his bedroom. But yeah, we've kind of kept up since then. I met Augie in high school playing baseball. He moved from a different school. The rest of the boys, it was in Oregon, yeah. So the rest of the boys are either in Portland. I actually met Devin in LA, you feel me? But I knew of Devin and the Loonies, his company and shit, from Jodeci, because me and Jodeci got really close. We was working with the same director up in Oregon. And then director was like, yo, you got to work with this guy, And we finally linked up, you feel me? And we like linked up on some music shit, and then really it wasn't even like music that day. We just like talked for like literally like all night. and then the next day we made music. You feel me? Like,
That's
but I ended
real.
up staying at his house. You feel me? So, but it was just an immediate connection. You feel me? He ended up becoming one of my best friends. But yeah, and then Day, man, I got plenty of stories with Day, bro. We could go on for that. You know what I'm saying? But me and Day go way back. But yeah, it's all been organic. You feel me? I met Patty when I was about to literally quit college. He was a freshman in college. He randomly came up to me at some party. He was just like, "You look like you make art." And I was just like, and I was just on some cool guy shit. I was drunk a little bit, and I was like, I guess, like,
Don't be the lip parties.
what makes you say that? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's just like, bro, I'm in your class, and like, you're always like 10 minutes late. You always come in with like all this crazy clothes, you know, and like people in Oregon, you know, I don't want to speak, I guess, for everybody in Oregon, but like, I guess I wasn't really used to like my loudness, like without even saying nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like they wasn't used to that type shit.
Mhm.
But he noticed, and he was just like, I just want to help. Da da da. He was coming to all the shows. He was helping as much as possible, and I just, you know, he was just like, he's a person that's been there for me, you know, through some like real like crazy like fluctuations throughout that time. So yeah, and like I guess 2020, yeah.
Man, I
March
knew,
2020 is when we all decided to like let's just do it together.
man, you know, I think
Now
this
we're a boy
causes
band.
for a elite introduction to the Professor X Mutant House.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, you know, we're gonna probably have to go down the line. Like, you know, right here, we're gonna start right here on the couch, right here to the right of you. Like, man, like, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Howdy.
This is our cowboy.
Yeah. I got a couple of nicknames. I always introduce myself by my name, Devin, just because, like,
So you are.
being in the industry, you meet a lot of egos, right? And we all have alter egos, but I guess our group just capitalizes on better, and we know how to put them in check when they get a little crazy, right? But yeah, Flint is what I've been called the longest, Flint Backwood, or newly found by the boys, also the Wolf. I don't know if you've seen like the Pulp Fiction movie, the guy who comes and like solves all the problems. Yeah, that's kind of, I guess, what I do in a sense. I started out making clothes though, and more so, I grew up a certain kind of way, and I lived a certain kind of lifestyle. So for a long time, I would just spend every dollar I had on my clothing. But I never, for the first like 6 years I did it, I never made any money. I gave everything away for free. So I would spend X amount of dollars on X amount of merchandise and just pump it into many's hands as possible, just because I was trying to gain my conscience back, and just like I said, I was living a certain way. So it was
Conscious back.
yeah.
What do you mean by that right there?
I I'm sure we all come from certain types of areas, especially how, you know, I know I can relate. I just met you today. I don't really know your backstory, but I know from the boys, we all come from a certain area, right? And there was a time in my life where it clicked, that I wanted to be the captain of my own fate, and my role models growing up was, you know, hustlers, right? You know, before my dad passed, the legend was, because I'm from originally from LA, but like I have family issues and shit like that, so I ended up moving to Idaho. That's how me and Jodeci met. And besides him, Rex and Cubano, I would say our friendship is the next longest. Like I've been knowing him 10+ years. Um, but yeah, I just did a lot of things to get my money. I've looked up to Nip and Jay-Z and Dame Dash, and because I realized like my family was in a certain level of distress, so I had to make an executive decision where I always tell people this: if you want to receive everything, you have to be willing to give everything, and
There
then
you
some.
go. You have to
So
give to receive.
that's kind of what it was. Where I was like, I took from the community in a certain kinds of ways. We ain't got to go into all that, but it got to a point where, like I said, I had to make a choice, because my dad would always tell me that he never wanted to kill nobody in the streets, because he didn't want to pass that on to me. His hood name was Wacko, because he used to set shit off, right? So he used to trip all the time when all his homies would call me Lil Whack, because I kind of got those same tendencies, right? But yeah, I just, like I said, I got to a point where what I was doing, I was either gonna go to prison for forever, or I had to really start moving like a top dog. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I'm a God-fearing man, right? So I don't know, like it just started to catch up with me mentally, and certain things happened where, shout out to Nip, you know what I'm saying? Where he said I was thinking it was chess moves, but it was God's grace. Like there was plenty of times where I thought it was over. Like I'm about to go to prison for forever, right? And then for me, I grew up with people in prison my whole life, so it's like I would always toy with the idea, like not necessarily toy with the idea because it wasn't a game for me either, but I would always wonder what I would do in those situations where it was like I knew like if you go to jail, you never coming home. So it's like in my brain, I'm like, I'll shoot it out because why go to prison for 20, 30? You know, they sentence people like we're trees, give you 100 years. You only gonna live to see 25 of those. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
yeah, just for the longest time, like I said, I got all my money, took my business model from Nip and Jay-Z because that's more relatable to our generation and the time we grew up in. And yeah, I just put all my money into the loonies. And like I said, for 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer, I can't even count. Like I was just giving everything away for free just because I was trying to buy my conscience back.
And that's
There you go.
that's a unique way to start a business right there. And not only is it unique, I feel like we talk about profit, that's the best profit you can give is actually the people, not
Right.
for actual currency.
I feel like that's the only
You
reason
know.
why I'm still here, bro.
Value.
Yeah.
Because God saw my
Spiritual.
heart, right? And my dad passed from cancer when I was like 17. Thank God, right? Because there's many other ways it could have went. But I feel like I had a spokesperson in heaven, but two, like I said, as I started to get older and read more books about philosophy and just like intellectual things, I started to understand or have an understanding. Think I have an understanding. More importantly, let's clarify because we all don't know what's actually going on, right? But I just started to see the world a little bit different. So I just, like I said, I was doing my part to give back to the communities that I took from. And it wasn't just one community. It was just, even now to this day, like sometimes Rex gets, I don't want to say he gets mad at me, but there's days where he'll get up and I know, I only have like maybe an hour with him because he's going to go into his day. I'm going to go into mine, et cetera, et cetera. So I started to just spew information, just give information. And I can tell he has that look where he's just like, damn, I just woke up. You know, where it's like, but that's just my nature. You know what I'm saying? I want to give to people. I want to see people thrive because I've seen despair. So
Yeah,
Facts.
I can relate to that as well because my mother, she was in and out of prison, so I knew that was an example for what I did not want to happen for me. So I know I had to stay busy, and I know I had to be creative, and I know I had to just follow something that's going to be and inspire people, and just complete opposite of what she was on, so I can not follow in her footsteps. And I knew I wasn't gonna follow in her footsteps, but I kept busy and I became creative and I got conscious, so I would not go down the path that she did.
and
And
I
I-
wouldn't even say it's called it conscious. It's more as just like
Awareness.
awareness and
Awareness.
finding the power of self.
Yeah.
That's such a rare commodity these days. And he calls us the mutant house, right? But the only reason why any of us are what we are is because we're comfortable with ourselves through and through, the good and the bad,
Yep.
and we don't hide it, right?
And we've made a decision to improve
Yep.
100%.
every day. Like every day we make that decision. You got to show up every day. And that's like the motto in the house, you feel me? Like we're pretty hard on each other, you know what I'm saying? And we're pretty like strategic in the way that we're hard with each other, you feel me? And like that decision comes every single day with everybody. And everybody in the crib on the team knows that if you're not up to speed, like you're gonna hear about it from one of us.
Right.
Like one of us is
And
finna
that's
tell
what
you.
Yeah.
and that's what a good
We're gonna
friend
be on
does.
your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like
And that's what a good
and
friend
we
does.
all expect it, and we all like, you know what I'm saying? We all like we all improve and we all fail together and we all, eat together at the end
That's
of the day.
fucking
And we
dope.
take
You know what
those
I'm saying? It's
failures,
love.
quote failures, as
Right.
learning situations. There's
Yeah,
no
we're
such thing as a
past that one.
failure.
We already know.
No
like,
failures. It's
fail
a
fast.
learning.
One of my
Fast
favorite
and
TV
get to
shows.
it. Get back to it.
Come
Something
on
you'll
now.
never
You know what I'm saying?
Come on now.
Fail fast and
Nah,
emphatically.
yeah,
You know what I'm
let's go.
saying? Like
So, with that being said, there's a lot of people in this group. So, I mean, like, hey, can we do me a favor? Can we pass this mic to my dog right here? Let me
I
let
go
me holler
by,
at you one time.
Shit, I go by Cubano White, aka Michael Paul.
man, you whispering in my ear right now.
Oh, real nice.
You gotta
That
push the
shit-
mic back too.
That shit making me feel. That should make me feel some type
I'm a
of way.
real nice guy. I could treat you nice, you know.
Oh,
This got real boy bandits real quick. Hold on.
Nah, but yeah.
This ain't in sync.
I'm I produce music. We in-house producer. You could do any flavors you'd like, And yeah, that's me. Pass it on to my brother.
Thank you, man. I'm Augie X. Also go by August. I create some crazy ass melodies. Try to create a different type of vision to take you somewhere. Make you fall in love with your ex baby mama again with my melodies and shit. I'll make you feel. I want to take you somewhere. I want to take you somewhere. That's why we're here. That's why we're a part of this. And yeah.
The ex baby mama is just one flavor.
Hey, look.
That's one flavor for sure.
What's good? I'm Day, music producer, DJ, audio engineer, saxophonist. I kind of do a lot of things. I do a lot of artist development, help a lot of artists develop their craft as far as getting them to where they want to be musically. And then I help the team grow as well. Kind of do a lot of team building with them. Push them definitely with their creativity as far as like levels of expectation of music, like where we want it to be and like, making sure it's A1 every time. Yeah.
Day's the best. He's the best in the business.
Right there, bro.
All right, well, I'm Melt the producer. I'm an audio producer, extraordinaire, young, 24 years.
Fire.
Sensational.
Young creative
I
genius.
Sensational.
enjoy a lot of things in life, but out of everything in life, I definitely enjoy being with these boys, and that's not just melodramatic for the camera. That's the truth, and yeah, we're really a family over here. I'm proud of us, and this is the first interview we've all had together, but I can see this being a future thing. So shout out God, and that's me.
Oh no, they're gonna be like I said earlier. They're gonna be so mad. They're gonna be so mad. They're just like, we booked you. And they're like, nah, you booked us. Yeah. We're a boy band. We're a boy band now.
I'm gonna wrap it off. My name is Jodeci Giovanni.
Lean in. They gotta pick it up.
Oh shit, what's up? It's Jodeci Giovanni, man. Pretty much, it's beautiful. Life's beautiful. When it shit get fucked up, like the only people you could count on is people that is with you every day. So me and Flint Backwood go back to middle school days. You feel me? And he just really pushed me in a way that was like business. You know what I'm saying? And he was the first one to grab the sewing machine and be like, "Oh, I could do it," And I took that and I was like, "Oh, I could do it." He started a brand. I was like, "Oh, I could do it." Similar with Rex. You know what I'm saying? I met him through music. Back in the day, probably like a while ago, like what, nigga, like
6, 7 years ago.
6, 7 years ago, and he inspired me on the music level. We were both playing shows in the Portland circuit, and like he said, it wasn't music at first. Like even though it was supposed to be music, it was something bigger than that always. And I think just the way things happen organically is the way things are supposed to meant to be. So again, my name is Jodeci Giovanni, and I'm not a conductor in no way. I'm not a composer in no way. But I do want to push art forward, you know what I'm saying? And I do want to bring a different taste to the art scene and more so like high fashion and how that goes down,
And stay tuned for the opera.
Yeah, stay tuned for the opera because I'm building that shit with all within. And like I said, I'm not a composer, a conductor, but you're going to like the show. And even if you're not affordable, like to get to the opera, like I think you still appreciate what the opera does for the culture. And it's going to be that. So
that'll make sense later.
Hey, look, man.
That'll make sense later.
You bringing up all this opera.
That'll make sense later.
Like what?
That'll make sense later. No, that'll make sense later.
No, like what's like? Tell us like what's.
Give me a
we
one
need
liner.
the insight.
Give me a one liner. That'll make sense later.
Yo, the opera is this right now.
Facts.
Hey.
There you go.
Facts.
So it sounds like for me, your individual creativity, your positivity has brought you guys all together, and now you have this like I keep saying, super creative genius group, and
It's God's timing. You want to hear a crazy story? You want to know how me and Rex met?
Yeah.
So it was probably 2018-ish. I had bought some girl's company 50% shares. She had already been working with Rex, right? Doing great work. Well, he was doing great work. Her not so much. She's crazy, right? We ain't even gonna say her name. But long story short, we had this little. It was funny because at the time, I was trying to do what we're doing now with them, right? And it was funny because it was in a smaller space. It was in Hollywood, an apartment. But yeah, one day him and Ramsey show up and like, you know that Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other? Like
Yeah.
Rex shows up and we don't know what we look like, right?
Yeah.
We just heard about each other through Jody, right? Oh, what up, bro? Oh yeah, Devin, it's my house. Oh, I'm Rex. And then we just looked at each other like,
I was like, loonies?
and I was like, Jodeci Rex? And we're like, oh, what? Oh, damn! Like, keep doing that. What's up? Like, and it was love. Like, and we had never met each other prior to that. Nor did she tell me, because at the time we were business partners, so I knew everything that was going on. She just kept saying, oh yeah, this video guy's gonna come over. We're gonna work on this video together. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, show up and it's this guy. You know, fast forward to now. That was what was 22 too.
2019.
That was that's like 3 years fast. That was 3 years ago. Fast forward to now, and like
Around this
that's
time.
divinity,
Fast
that's
forward.
God's timing, bro.
And like
Hey,
he's,
you know,
Yeah, and that shit went sour, but me and him stayed tapped in.
And that's-
the relationship.
And that's what's
Yeah.
even crazy because it did go sour. She ended up stealing from like all of our clients, like just,
Even me.
even him,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bro, I literally had crazy, bro. I literally like, I'm super like, I'm on that like, you take care of business, business takes care of you type shit, right? So like, she wanted the video back. I'm editing for her or whatever, doing some crazy graphics. She wanted the video back randomly, like quicker, out of nowhere, pressing me about the label, whatever, working with Def Jam, whatever labels on us, right? Like, and according to what she said, right? Bro, I had the firest Travis Scott tickets, bro. I had never. By the way, being an artist myself, I was always so pressed of not going to any shows unless I was performing.
yeah.
that's
Like
how I
I've
am.
always been like that. You feel me? I've gotten invited to Coachella, all this different shit. But I was like, if I'm not on stage, like
or my people.
that, like and it's not like I'm a hater or anything, but it's just like it was something that I wanted so bad that I was like, I'd rather stay locked in the lab and work my ass until I get there, and then I'll let myself like spend the bread and like enjoy it on that sense, right? So I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'd never been to, so I was about to be my first show that I ever been to, like a real big ass show. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm talking to the shorty. I bought us tickets. I bought, you know what I'm saying? These two boys were going too. So like, they were like, oh yeah, we got tickets too, bro. It was about to be lit. I literally gave up those tickets because I wanted to make this deadline. Cause that's the type of time I'm on at all times. Like for me, it was just like longevity. These like, I spent like probably $1,500 on them tickets, right? Trying to like getting like the good shit, right? I was like, fuck it, right? That's when everything spun out within like that whole situation, right? All of it was cap. And I literally turned that bitch in, gave up a whole bunch of memories and a whole bunch of situations to make sure that shit got done. Cause that, like I said, that's the type of time I'm on at all times. And it was so crazy because I don't regret it at all. I don't regret it at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm still, in the vibes, and I got to like, still be in a relationship with him, you know what I'm saying? That like
Something great came out.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now the type of like meetings we taking is way different, so it's like it's
and
whatever.
it shows how like dedicated and that you are to your craft.
Right.
You're for real about everything that
For
you're
real.
doing.
And
that,
if I agree to something, I'm about to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm about to do it.
man, if you were
How powerful and inspirational is it, like, to have like a whole group of people around you that are like-minded? You know what I'm saying? That's just like on that certain type of level, that godly level, that's here pushing y'all to the next point of life. Each and every last one of y'all, because I feel like if there's something that you may need, not only from a material standpoint, but from a psychological standpoint. As I'm looking around here, there's so many different swaggers and so many different everythings, but also the energy that I'm feeling is as well as is the energy of protection. That y'all are here to protect each other and to help each other where y'all fall at. And once again, y'all said that before too. Like y'all check each other anytime that there's ever a problem. So like, what is that energy? What do y'all think that energy comes from? Like, from an individual
Common
aspect?
goals. Common goals. You know what I'm saying? None of us really come from shit, so it's like we got to do it ourselves type beat. You know what I'm saying?
And seeing each other succeed. Man.
Yeah.
It's just like, we're all here for the same reason, and we all love each other deeply. It's like
It's a fact.
we're not stopping until all of us get in there.
Yeah.
And from like an outside standpoint, which I can as well relate to, you guys all came from places where creativity was looked at side-eyed, individuality was looked at side-eyed, and you guys were able, you guys found a common ground. You guys are creative,
Yeah.
you guys are
It
here
was
to
unrealistic till we showed up.
and you believe in each other, and you guys came from a place where you guys were that wasn't the case. So when you find somebody that's genuine, pure, passionate, and on the same page, let's get to it, let's create.
And everything came together so organically for each
Yep.
and every single person, how we all connected too. It wasn't like put on each other. It's like, hey, meet this person, this person.
Like, we need you. Like, that's never been a thing.
Yeah.
Like, we need someone.
Yeah, that's definitely God's timing. You know what I'm saying?
The
It's
universe.
Feel like people is there for you.
divine.
And you don't need
Divine.
them at all, but in the worst moments, like, they're there for you.
Yep.
You know?
Divinity is a crazy thing when you look at it, you know what I'm saying? Because it'll have you, in a house full of superheroes. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Before when you was probably living out the trap.
We the
you know what I'm
fucking
saying? The mother-
Avengers.
Exactly.
And I don't mean to interrupt, but on the outside looking in, it's easy for like someone to say, "Oh, that's so amazing what you guys have." But each of us individually, it's taken going through some of the most toughest times of our lives where, I'm sure speaking for all of us here, there was a couple of times where plenty of us, we didn't think we was going to make it, whether it be mentally, physically, however it was going to go. Like, this is a cultivation of diligence, of just pressing on, right?
And slamming your head on the fucking wall until it breaks through.
And then
Just
still
slam it.
hitting it.
Come on now.
Insanity.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you
Again
like
and
this.
again.
And as
It hurts again.
as a survivor, you know what I'm saying, of life and trauma and going through multiple things in life, I will have to say that you're not even allowed to have the presence of a certain type of energy unless you're ready for that. And the fact that y'all are all ready for it, to be around one person or this person, no matter if it's a Jodeci, if it's a Cubano, a Rex, a Patty, a Augie, anything, it doesn't matter if you're not at that level.
Right.
Because other than that, you're a scab.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you are a callus. You know what I'm saying? You are rendering to the fact of evolution, of adaptation. So God won't even allow you to even be around certain people if you not even on that level. It's gonna be certain. I don't care what type of way it is. He will find a way to sabotage it if it's not ready.
Right.
Oh yeah.
If it's with a girlfriend, if it's with a cousin,
they've
if
tried.
it's with
They've
what I'm
tried.
saying? If it's with anything, it'll
absolutely tried.
find a way. I promise you. Because if it's not for you, it's not for you.
Right.
Through it all, you have to trust the universe. Everything happens the way it's supposed to happen.
Come on now.
You have to trust the universe. You gotta trust.
And I think
God.
that's a big important thing that I think I've learned through our life is not to question nothing.
Right.
It's to accept.
Right. Well, it's building order within chaos. Because
Come on
both
now.
are going to be around regardless. You feel me? Like, the chaos, like, I even put it in one of my little NFTs. I was like, inner peace is real, outer peace is not.
Mhm.
Feel me?
100.
Like, it's chaos regardless. And
You
that's
gotta
just
snap
what
my
that's
finger
just
on
that's
that
just what makes like evolution happen. That's just what makes evolution happen, you dig? Like,
Yeah.
you need that. That's pressure.
Come on now.
Pressure creates what?
Diamonds.
Hey, diamonds.
Exactly. Talk
Hey,
to me.
Or bust pipes.
Guess what? My spirit,
buzz
my
pipes.
spirit,
Or
my
buzz pipes.
spirit, ultra clarity VVS.
There
Hey,
you go, big
come on,
Dig?
baby.
Like-
Come on.
Big vision.
Dig.
you
I don't
know-
even need diamonds.
You feel
Hey.
me?
Feel me?
Facts.
Can afford them. I already got them.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Dig. I was mentally and spiritually
dig?
rich before I came financially
go.
rich.
That part.
Feel me?
Yeah.
And
That's
that's how
very
it starts,
important.
though.
Exactly.
Come on now. And you know what's even more important about that you say that is because, looking at you and seeing how special of a person that you actually are, you know what I'm saying, to actually be forward thinking and actually have to be able to even offer a certain part of yourself to even just have these type of people around you, because at the end of the day, I've met people. I made so many David Ruffins. You know what I'm saying? Temptations. You know what I'm saying? This is David Ruffin. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people like that in this world that have missed out on other great people.
Right.
Because I'm a person that believes that there's multiple prophets.
Right.
And call it what you want, I believe that there's multiple sons.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Call it what you want. I don't believe we see the same sun. I don't believe we've seen the same sun burn for all these years.
Right.
How many stars have we seen explode, and how many things I feel like we've traveled through galaxies and we've seen many great things the same way we'll see many great people.
Right. And it's growing the same way that we growing. Evolution is infinite.
Exactly.
Feel me?
You can choose not to see. You can choose to lose out on certain people in your life. And 9 times out of 10, if you lose out on certain people in your life, you know, they was meant for you to lose out on them. Exactly. And it's probably not because you're probably the best person at that time or they were the best person at that time. Maybe you weren't at the level for them. Yeah. Or maybe when you met them, they weren't at the level for you.
Facts. Yeah, it's a two-way street.
Yeah, so when you able to stick and have certain friends and have certain people that you can lean on and have certain people that you can love and go to and talk to about problems or go to about your business or other endeavors, like, that's important.
Right.
You know,
and it's not easy either. It's definitely rough. Like,
no.
It's not like it's all been peaches and cream from the jump. Like, even making the decision to make it all happen, you feel me? When, Cubano and Augie brought it to me, like, they wanted to, get a crib together and everything. And I kind of just let them know, like, all right, well, these are my stipulations of what I need. And one of my stipulations was, like, I need Patty, I need Day, I need Jodeci, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Devin came a little bit later, but it was just like, these are the things I need.
Right.
And I already knew from the jump, like, I need to taking such a big risk, like, there was going to be a necessary sacrifice for that, you feel me? So it's like, we can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, we like been best friends the entire time. Nah, there's definitely pressure, right?
It's hard work.
It's exactly like, and like building a fucking like militant ass group like requires us to be in the mud together.
Right.
There you go.
You feel me? Like, exactly.
With
it
that
requires that. You know what I'm saying?
And with that being said, anything that's authentic and pure, when the light shines on it, it's gonna shine. Like,
right.
To just, and that's how everything
I don't
works.
think it's
Business, friendships, anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's any different from family. You know
Nah,
what I'm saying?
no.
We talking about blood. You know, when you talk about family, you talk about people that's quote unquote entitled to be close to you in your life.
Well, what I can say, sorry to cut you off, but what I can say is that these boys are closer to me than my family.
That part.
I
I
mean,
consider
like,
them.
I think
like,
that go like every single way though.
Yeah. Like I didn't really get the opportunity to have like strong grandparents, strong aunties and uncles. I'm the oldest of my 3 brothers, you feel me? So like me and my little brothers is tight. Like I never let any of that bullshit that my step family or like my real family went through, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like all that dynamic, that dichotomy of like a victim's mindset, right? But I didn't get the opportunity to have like the cool ass like Thanksgivings, like holidays to me growing up were like extreme like anxiety. It was just like, who's fighting this time?
Yep.
Type beat, right? Like, so I didn't get to have a family, so I built my own.
No, that's real.
Dig? Like,
and I low key
like these are the boys that's gonna be like with me, like on my deathbed type shit. It's not gonna be like my family, quote unquote, and that's no diss to them. I still love everybody. I feel it, but like the vision was different, and some had to give.
Right.
Type beat.
Yeah.
You know
it's crazy. It's crazy because I was bringing up that just for that answer. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I can see, the insight on this thing to where, like, it is, the family is so important, and a lot of people may not understand that the close people in your life may not be your cousin or may not be your brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like in our society, when we look at life, everybody's like, oh, that's your brother. How the hell could you fall out with him?
Right.
Oh, that's your cousin. How the hell can you fall out with them?
Man, I don't give a fuck. Because you know what? When I was homeless, bro, like the second time I was homeless, it was them two. Him and him that picked me up. It wasn't none of my family.
Come on now.
None of them.
I could attest to that too.
Feel me?
And that's
like,
what make a difference.
It was none of them.
Come on now.
Like it was him and it was him. Feel me?
And that's love, bro. And that's love because I think the world needs to hear that. I think the world needs to hear that is the fact that, you know, we got certain people that come out with certain songs will say, fucking all my friends are dead. You know what I'm saying? When they have certain people that come out and say, you know, all these people are enemies and all this other shit like that. Like, that's not the truth.
It could be, but like the way I see it is I could say that too. But what does that do for me long term? That don't do nothing for me long term. You feel me? Like I've lost plenty of friends. I have plenty of enemies. Right?
Come on.
But at this point it's like they're obsolete because of what I'm actually building in concrete. You feel me? Like the foundation that we've built, the infrastructure that we've built, it was brick by brick. So by the time we get to the palace, like the top of the fucking tower is done. Like it's impenetrable. You feel me? So it's like I could sit there and like be sad about the little chip brick that I had, right? Or the fact that I didn't lay that concrete well enough. But nah, why focus on that? Like that doesn't make sense and it's counterproductive, right? Because if we already take some of those really cliche fundamentals of like your failures or lessons and all that and that, right? The cliches, we hear it all the time. Then obviously like those cracks, those breaks, the first time we try to build it, it fell. Like I wouldn't have known that I have to put some, metaphorically, some 2x4s and these little like, what are them little shits called? I'm not a carpenter, but them little metal, you know what I'm saying? Like brackets. I didn't know I had to put them bitches in. Now I know. Right? So it's like, I'm not going to sit there and trip off of like the shit that didn't go well or the people that don't like me from when I was 15? Like, if you still mad like 10 years later, like, bro, like you do realize like you could have put all that energy into building some fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Gates says, I believe it's Bill Gates, but I don't want to misquote. So I heard this quote that was like, we overestimate what we can do in a year, but we underestimate what we can do in 10. And you sitting there hating for 10. You know how much shit you could have done? Because I could show you what I did.
That part.
I could show you what I did. So I'm not tripping about none of that, bro. Like, I'm not tripping about none of that. And at this point in my heart, I don't feel like I got no enemies, right? Even people that did me wrong. It was just like, thanks for the lesson. You feel me? Because now I went to this fucking $250,000 deal that I just turned down. And because of that one little thing that you did to me, I actually paid attention to their fucking facial structure, right? And their body language. Yeah, because you fucked me 15 years ago.
Right.
And now you're that body language I learned from your stupid ass. Make sure I didn't sign a stupid ass deal.
No, you know,
you know what I'm saying? Now I'm lit. So what's up?
Truth.
You know
Sometimes it takes a situation to bring you closer to people. So,
Facts.
you know, with that being said, do you guys have a collective project you're working on right now, or
Plenty.
Yes.
Plenty.
Tell us about something you're working on right now. Anything.
All right, so we got one. When they produce together, they're called Buku. So it's before you knew us or before you kill us, right? It's like the order and chaos, right? Those like yin and yang. That's how I perceive it.
Yes.
But yeah, like, so they're working on a joint project where they like get a bunch of artists. I mean, I think Pre's on some of the records. I'm on some of the records.
Yes, sir.
I'm on some of the records. Jodeci's on some of the records, and so that's like a joint thing that we kind of all collaborate on, and we like, even if we're not touching production wise, because that's like, that's kind of like their thing. We all try to incorporate.
Yeah.
We do a lot of design work with Jodeci. You feel me? That like he kind of takes ideas. And then he makes some kind of his own in terms of like, we kind of sit down like, yo, this would be sick, you know what I'm saying, doing shit together, and we like either help fund it or we'll shoot the video for it, you feel me, where like, it's everybody contributes with their own craft type shit. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think almost every project we can consider it that at this point. You feel me? Even like, so like everything that we do, like when I start dropping,
what type of perk? That's like goddamn. I don't even know. Like you can. That's steroids.
Not only that, it's like you have your people that genuinely care about what they're doing.
Right.
They genuinely care about you. their best
Come on.
interest is, in heart at all times. So imagine what you're gonna create.
We're like
Imagine
we're like
hearing
the we're
people-
like the firiest like crab boil you ever tasted in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like exactly. Like somebody bring the corn, somebody bring the fucking shrimp, somebody bring the fucking seasoning, somebody fucking heats up the water.
Yeah.
You dig?
And
Like and then we all
crazy-
eat it together type shit.
Come on.
Another crazy
It's all
shit,
home.
for the record, what we doing? We did this from the mud. Like no loans, no help, no nothing. If we wanted to do something, if he want to pay for a music video, he pay for himself.
Facts.
If I gotta release whatever I'm doing for my business, I gotta pay for myself. Same with everybody right here. Or we're gonna pool the resources, right?
Right.
Well, a lot of these folks, especially here in LA, like they get handouts or they go hang out with the next dude, dick
Right.
riding.
Sucking dick to get
Oh,
a
I'm
little
with
my God.
so
to get a little
and
play.
this, that. We don't
To
do
get a
none of
little
that.
play.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
You know what we did?
He said earlier, live farther enough away so don't nobody want to come out there, but live close enough to that where we can go and fuck shit up when we got to.
Go crazy.
Right?
It's
And it's
true.
all people say, "Oh, I'm self-made this and I did this," but like it's really real over here. Like
Yeah.
Right.
if
And it's
if
no
we
diss
failed,
as long as your
no.
business straight. Like as long as your business straight, you feel me? Because I could show you some jugs with the loans and all that. But like, I say, like biggest loans we take out is with God because like we put in the time, right? We gave
Come
up
on.
life energy,
Yes,
dig?
sir.
And we learned the skills
Yes, sir.
off rip. Like we learned the skills, and it took us a little bit longer to really get to a place where like we all feel comfortable in our craft and like we all feel comfortable in a business and we have like all these meetings and different shit coming in. But like we put in the time. So
Come
we
on.
did a contract with God and we put the life force in and we didn't do it with no human.
Hey, yo.
Right? With no corrupted human energy that could fuck us over in the long term. And even when we build these partnerships, because I got a partnership, and shout out Win Inc., you feel me? Shout out Grand Arcana and shit. Like I got partnerships and shit, but even then they respect like what the fuck we got going on. And they know once they come into the energy, they know that what they're coming to come in like eat off that energy too because it's inspiring, you feel me? And they respect what we doing and they letting us do what the fuck we want to do. You know what I'm saying? But all they doing is just like, yo, like what is it that you're trying to do? Bet like I'm gonna try to pull this for you, I'm gonna try to pull this for you, try to pull this for you, right? But it's never been on no money shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's built off the spirit and like the need to make genius level product. You know what I'm saying? And like we did it a completely different way because we knew that like one, we're in the metaverse, right? Shit been changing, right? The dichotomy is different, right? Like the entire energy of this industry is changing. Labels are becoming obsolete, right? Like we building 700 credit scores, 850 credit scores. Why the fuck would I go pull out a loan from a fucking what was the word I'm looking for? From a superficial and fucking
glorified.
overrated glorified bank, quote unquote labels, right? Why wouldn't I just get my money up for a few years, get my credit up? I'll go pull out the loan myself. No percentages cut. Right? You don't own me. Right? That's my biggest thing. I don't like taking no money from nothing because I don't want to feel like I'm owned at all. Like I can do it myself. And even if it takes me a few extra years, right? People want to be lit now. For what? We got forever.
That part.
We got forever.
You know,
shout out
honestly,
Grand Arcana. See you forever. That's our
Hey, look,
motto for that company. You dig?
I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. You know, when you talk about things taking a certain amount of time, there's certain things in life that just take a little bit more seasoning, a little bit more time, a little bit more extra effort. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to be a one-hit wonder, if any one of y'all want to be one-hit wonders, it would have happened.
Right.
It shit already would have smacked. You already would have popped off with one little piece of clothes that one little somebody would have wore, or this somebody would have did this, and one person would have did that with anything.
It's gonna go as quick as it can.
Exactly, because that's exactly what you're praying for. That's exactly what you're working for. But when you're working for something that's monumental and something that's game changing and something that's gonna change lives for many people, like we talking about this, and y'all not even all together right now. We talking about the lives that y'all about to change. Not only individually, but as a conglomerate,
Bro, we already
what that
doing it.
means.
We already doing it.
You know what I'm saying?
Already doing
Like,
it, you feel
and
me?
we talking about being monumental. We talking about a
Legacy.
group of exactly a legacy,
It's
a
broken
group
down
of
into a
a group
science.
of West. You know what I'm saying? A group of Jay-Z's, a group of whatever you want to call the highest level of something. This is what God makes you put in the work for, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The longevity of it. Like I said, if you want to be a one-hit wonder, it already would have happened. But when you want something that's built behind legacy, it's gonna take the bricks. That's exactly what y'all building right now.
Laying it.
You know what I'm saying?
One
Laying
step
that
at a
shit.
time, one
Rome
brick at a
wasn't
time.
built in one fucking day.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And exactly what y'all are doing are building the most ultimate coliseum that you can possibly see out of a group of people that's actually with each other.
Yeah. And in a wholesome manner, moral.
Exactly.
Moral.
Not
like,
looking from afar.
I
We
ain't
talking
tryna-
about right here.
Yeah.
Y'all waking up with each other. Y'all got toothbrushes in the same goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nigga, we work out together, then we cook.
That's what I'm
together,
saying.
Then we eat together, then we get to work.
I seen
Maybe
something
on
today
separate
from your
projects.
Instagram. Y'all got up this morning. Y'all all working out together. But that's every day.
With that being
And
said, like
He
you
said
guys are
militant.
you guys are willing to push each other to outwork your potential. So, imagine when people see how you guys are, stick together, they want to absorb that energy as well, and that's why, you guys going to influence and people,
Yeah.
This is for the next generation for when they see that shit.
Yeah.
Nah,
facts.
that's
They really can
important,
do that
bro.
shit.
that's the best thing you can do is push each other to the next
Excuse
limit.
my language.
Man, y'all the first to get an interview with us like all together. I guess like I said, we're missing Park, we're missing Mozzie, two fundamental, and we're missing Ramsey, three fundamental people in the entire operation. I love those are my little brothers. You feel me? We pretty much building them up. But yeah, bro, like this is just wait, bro. These little snippets, they gonna hit different in like 10 years.
Come on
And
now.
motherfuckers is gonna look at it different, and then it's gonna be like, I bet, because we setting the tone for a lot of shit, and we don't like taking credit. We just watch. You know what I'm saying? It's like God's hands just literally sitting there, like, yeah, I feel you.
Real life.
Graceful, right? Graceful, waiting my turn. Just waiting my turn.
And
You
like
dig?
and like he said, like with other artists, all my friends are dead, but you guys are willing to teach people how to communicate, and express your individuality and
Different part of life.
yep, and make it work, and it just is something beautiful that comes from it.
One thing that we've been working on a lot lately is emotional intelligence.
There you go.
Facts.
As young men,
EQ.
it's
EQ.
not something that you're taught,
And
right?
and it's
And so as you get older, you start to find yourself in situations where things happen that you wish they wouldn't have happened, right? But obviously you can't fix them. But what can you do from the situations you learn? So as of lately, that's one thing that we've had a real emphasis on is just knowing yourself and your emotions, good and bad, and knowing how to control them. And and how to go with the ebbs and flows. Just like life is, like they said earlier. I'm the cowboy out the group. Like my end goal is to own a big enough plot of land, 1,000 acres or more, where I can have a big enough space to have all the people I love, but then have us all spread out enough to where we all have enough space to do whatever we want, and have
production.
have cattle, crops, like all of that stuff. These are things that I've
Sanctuaries.
cultivated.
yes.
Feel me?
But knowing, like, going back to what I said earlier, having that emotional intelligence and knowing who you are as a person is why this is all available to us, right? Because and going back to what he said, and I can attest to this because I've been in this situation a multitude of times where it's like God will show you what you've been praying for, but He ain't gonna give it to you because He's gonna fuck it off, right? So until you have that knowledge of self and okay, well, in this situation, I might be in a deal with this certain client and they might be able to give me the thing I've been praying for, but since I came in there with my ego and they said something, I reacted a certain way and now the deal's off the table, right?
And like you said from the beginning, if you're not giving anything, why are you worthy of receiving that as well?
And a lot of things, it's funny because I'm not gonna say how much I believe in Christianity. I understand the story and respect it, right? I grew up in it, but I'm a thinker. We all are, right? And I think just like what he said, I think the world's way bigger than that.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the story, it's like people, they sit and pray, God, please help me, help me, help me. God sent Jesus, his only son, and when he came here, he was crucified, he was stabbed, he was spit on, he was tortured, he was utterly disrespected, and he's a Messiah of the world, and you think your life is supposed to be any different because of what you want.
Facts.
and you don't do shit in comparison to what he just did. You dig what I'm
Facts.
saying?
He gave it all.
All and then
He
some.
gave it all.
All right. I'm gonna use my director card. Cut.
He said, cut.
I gotta take.
I do it all.